What's happening, Reject Nation? Greg Alba here.
And I'm Foggy Nelson.
I hope you guys watch our Venom spoiler talk video. It was a fun video to film. This is the 4th Daredevil trailer recovering. I was at the gym when this trailer dropped wearing this shirt, and I was like, well, before I shower, throw this shirt in the wash. Gotta cover this other Daredevil trailer, right?
I know.
I gotta keep the tradition going here.
You gotta just always wear this in case they drop more trailers.
Meet Agent Poindexter, which is Poindexter. That's Bullseye.
Oh, okay.
I guess they're confirming this officially.
All right.
Which is awesome to hear. I guess my theory stands correct. True.
Look out. Research paying off.
I'm not really. I don't really know much about Bullseye other than that. A little
Colin
fact.
Farrell.
He's not in the Born Again comic, so
good to know.
I'm sure they'll be borrowing in here or there. Anyway, before we do that, want to say again, thank you so much to everyone, sincerely, who's been joining us on our Patreon page, guys. Loving it over there. Over there, we do weekly Q&As as well as TV show reactions for many shows. That includes My Hero Academia, Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, and Attack on Titan, as well as Riverdale, Gotham, and Supernatural. And I don't know. I mean, we might do this show. I don't know yet.
We'll
it's
see.
a big maybe, all right? Yeah. But anyway, there'll definitely be a review of the series up. Let's get into this, Jay.
Woo!
Talk to me about the ambush. This isn't the first time you've used lethal force.
If I were wearing a mask, the press would be calling me a hero.
We surrender!
I work for the federal government. FBI helped keep me on the straight and narrow. But now, I'm drowning in deep water.
Dex. Do it, Dex.
Society won't understand.
Do it, Dex.
Oh.
I've never seen a talent like yours.
Talent.
That's gonna be cool.
He found someone to kill me.
Oh, man.
Karen.
That's
I'm Daredevil.
Ah.
can't wait.
I just
can't wait.
Like, I'm gonna spend all season waiting for that church fight and that Daredevil versus Daredevil showdown.
My nipples are so hard right now.
I got legit chills during a couple of those moments.
Oh, that image is so Born Again right there with Karen Page holding Daredevil in her arms with
And
the
stained
crucifix.
glass behind them. And
Oh man, love it. What's neat about this, like I said, I don't know anything about Bullseye's backstory really, but from what I can tell, he's filling the role that Will Simpson played.
Simpson, eh?
that Will Simpson
Simpson, eh?
plays in the Born Again comic book. Simpson is actually in the Jessica Jones show.
Okay.
He's the one who starts dating Trish in the first season, who takes the pills.
who makes Trish's arc in the second season so amazing with that drug. Yeah,
definitely.
totally.
Yeah. In the comic book Born Again, he's a crazy ass war vet, really buff. It's very different than the Jessica Jones portrayal. He's like insane. And similar to what's going on here, he becomes the ultimate assassin that Kingpin hires from a military background who's a little bit crazy. And he uses him to try to hunt down Daredevil. So they're taking a couple of elements and throwing it into one. Simpson, who goes by Nuke in the comic, Nuke does not pose as Daredevil. They get some like insane mental asylum guy or whatever to pose as Daredevil, a way to lure out Matt Murdock. But Nuke is a separate character. Okay. And now it seems like they're combining both elements, borrowing from the comic book, but giving it to Bullseye in this one.
Yeah.
Which is neat, you know. And also, in the day and age of, like, Daredevil's done a lot of course correcting for Daredevil. and just the whole world, like, they course corrected Daredevil. They course corrected the Punisher, the jumping off point for that. And I really like that we've waited till the 3rd season to get Bullseye again, because everyone's been wanting Bullseye to come in. People speculate that he might come in season 2. I don't know what the general perception is now of Colin Farrell's portrayal, which looks the exact same here. It's like 100%. Similar to how the Jigsaw in the Punisher Warzone movie is just the same as the one inside of the Punisher show. 100% the same. Yeah.
And that's how this season's probably going to go, is, you know, like Bullseye, he's going to like
become Irish by the end.
And then, at the end he's going to become Irish and like put on the Bullseye costume, and we're going to get a Bullseye spin-off series, you know, just like Punisher. It's going to be perfect. Every season of Daredevil is going to be punctuated with like a war vet PTSD series.
Every season of Daredevil is dedicated to course-correcting something that went wrong with the Daredevil franchise and the other things within that exist within the same world.
Well, I mean, just from the little glimpses we're getting of, I mean, this trailer is all focused on his character, and I mean, I was pulled in, even though you don't get a lot of prolonged moments. I mean, his performance looks like it's going to be pretty gripping. I liked some of the points he's making about, like, I feel like, you know, that's kind of territory that we're getting into more frequently now, is like, if I had a mask on, people would call me a hero and stuff like that.
I don't know what the behind the scenes are in terms of what writers work on what and what producers work on what. I don't really follow that side of TV news, but I'm kind of wondering, you know, how so much of the Punisher show, how that dealt so much with PTSD and war vets, and it kind of seems like it's going down a similar path with Bullseye in this season, and I don't know if they're going to be kind of introducing some similar elements to that, because this guy's looking for a purpose now too, and I like that we're going to get time to explore him, because, I mean, going back to Colin Farrell for a second, it seems like a lot of people thought his performance is a joke, but I kind of thought at the time when it came out that everyone thought he was one of the few good things about that movie, but
that's
now,
all I heard.
Yeah, now looking back on it, I feel like every time I hear someone bring him up, they talk about how it was just a silly thing.
I imagine it's probably one of those things where that movie hasn't aged well and he's just one of the better parts of it, but that might not be saying much.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I mean, this almost weirdly, I kind of got like a Departed vibe for a minute there, because like, isn't that like a psyche valve he's in at the front? Like, all I could think of is my hand never shakes.
Steady.
Yeah.
Because like, he's such a crack, like his whole thing is like he never misses, right?
Yeah. Well, I think this is the perfect way to introduce Bullseye and keep the comic lore going, because like I said, it's borrowing elements in the Born Again comic and then throwing it all into the Bullseye world. And I'm sure there's actual Bullseye origins involved here. Feel free to educate, guys, because I really don't know. Oftentimes people worry about getting into villain overload and
having
things
too
like
many Spider-Man 3 style.
But this doesn't register that way to me at all. It's like, yeah, it's another villain on top, but we've already gotten Kingpin. Kingpin's established. But in terms of like Kingpin versus Daredevil, usually Daredevil needs to be injured in order for Kingpin to actually beat him in a fist fight.
Yeah.
Especially in this world. I know there was the big final fight in Daredevil season 1 where they're going at it. It was an intense fight, but it was also like, Matt's gonna win. Come on.
Well, I mean, he's a smaller guy. He's much faster. You know, he's trained in a different way.
Yeah.
Like, Wilson Fisk is just like a giant 5-year-old.
Yeah.
Who just like beats on people, you know?
Like, Kingpin's gonna be used to destroy the whole life around Matt Murdock and Daredevil.
Your soul.
Not a real body, a real soul.
You know?
But to have Bullseye in here, he's going to be used to actually, you know, try to kill.
And mess with his mind too.
Oh, yeah.
Because to come face to face with your effigy is like such a weird thing, I would imagine, for Matt Murdock, to have your visage perverted for the city, you know?
And to clarify, I'm not 100% sure if I get the impression his background has some type of PTSD war thing. Because he starts off in the trailer saying, the FBI helped keep me on a straight and narrow path. I don't know if he had like some serial killer tendencies or something, and being in the FBI did that. But I like the approach of, this guy's an FBI agent.
FBI.
Yeah.
I hope he fires his gun at one point.
He gets in trouble for using lethal force. You know, they have the whole ambush sequence where he's like killing people and whatever. It looks like he's trying to take down Kingpin in the beginning of this trailer, and he fails to do so.
Could be one of those things where it's like, you got real close.
You got real close. Yeah, that's what it seems like to me when Kingpin notices his talent and skill. So him feeling like he doesn't belong to the FBI, and then Kingpin sort of stepping in and helping corrupt that brain even more is kind of a cool concept, as opposed to taking just traumatized war vet throwing him in here. I like this approach of a dude who's working within the system is technically a good guy because it's for the FBI, but, you know, he clearly has these tendencies that are very dangerous and lethal, and now honing in on that and making him cross more into the dark side.
Yeah, he clearly needs that little push.
Yeah.
You know, and I get a psychological vibe of some kind because you've got that motif of the repeating voice, that do it, Dex.
Yeah.
Do it, Dex, that like nagging voice
Yeah.
in the back of his head.
Dex. Do it, Dex.
So I gotta imagine that's gonna figure in somehow. You know, he
Yeah.
doesn't look all put together in a lot of the scenes
Yeah.
where he's just himself. And the other thing too is he looks amazing in that mask.
I'm Daredevil.
Yeah.
Like they found, I don't know how they cast these things, but that's got to be a concern because like the lower half of his face in that mask like actually looks cool.
Yeah, it
So,
does look cool.
Good for him.
It does look cool. And I guess my last thing is if it's also borrowing a little more just additional inspiration from the comics, I imagine that the way they get the suit, because, you know, they have Melvin Potter as a reoccurring role in season 1 and season 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I imagine that there's another threat maybe made against Betsy one more time. Yeah.
It's a way to get to that guy.
To force him to make a suit so that way Bullseye could rock that bad boy. But yeah, I just can't wait.
Yeah.
I just can't wait.
I'm super like I like the variety of the Marvel Netflix shows, but there's nothing like Daredevil.
There's nothing like Daredevil.
Nothing like
No,
Daredevil.
God, no, definitely not. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, how excited are you for this? And please, if there's more information that you want to provide about Bullseye, leave it in the comments, man. I like to learn. You guys can subscribe to the Reject Nation. Please click that notification bell because, you know, subscribe buttons don't do the trick as much as they used to anymore. And also check us out on Patreon. TV show reactions, Q&As. Would love to have you become a Patronject today.